All right, what's up? Can you let's make first things first? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Perfect. Hello, Brian, Lambo, Michael. If y'all want to test your mics in case y'all want to say anything, that would be great.
Testy, testy.
Thank you very much. Awesome. Thanks. All right, so then I've got to manage my what you see on the screen. So let me do that. All right, so you should be able to see my screen now. Let's verify that you can see my screen. Can everybody see my screen?
You look so professional.
Perfect. Yeah, I've had an AI create that. If y'all ever want to go over that app, let me know and we can go over that app and I can show you how to create it. I've created one for Megan, called it my LinkedIn Studio. I need to add to it anyway, so might be a good time to do that sometime. All right, so today there's some cool stuff I just found out like 5 minutes before this started because Hatz uh, does a Friday lunch and learn, but theirs is usually at noon, so it's the time that I'm doing this now. But I went ahead and looked at their changelog, and they have a couple of new things, and one of the new things is really neat, and I want to show you guys that. I don't know if anybody's looked late yesterday. I started noticing something different yesterday, and then this morning I really like, what is going on? So it's kind of cool. So today I wanted to show y'all NotebookLM because we don't always have to stick with Copilot or Hats. If there's another AI out there that's fun or something that might be useful, we can try to go over it. Anyway, I'll go over Hats news. And we may do some other stuff if you guys have questions, see what you guys are doing, if you that type of stuff. So we'll keep it pretty loose. We have lunch at least to do this, so we can go as late as you want or early. So let's go ahead and get in. Let's close that and get into it. And I want to start here with just some of the new hats things you can do. So you could actually go into, I'm going to share this in the chat. This is the change log. This is updated once a week, it looks like. So if you ever want to go to see what the difference is, you can go here. But what this is telling us is something called subagents has been now added to it. And when you start chatting, it actually shows you if it's something complex, it actually starts showing you how it's thinking. And it's actually building subagents and adding tools to them without having to have the auto tool on it. I noticed when I was building and I have the Claude Sonnet, which is 4.6, it's changing it to 4.5 Haiku because it's like, hey, this can handle it. And then it's adding its own tools to it to get that stuff. So let me close out of this now. This. I'll show you what this looks like. Let's go out. Let's get into Hats. Okay, so you see I was in Hats just a little bit ago. Oh, let me make sure I save my workflow. I was actually working on this. Actually, you want to pause for a second? Do you want me to show you what I'm working on this workflow? Is there any interest in that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So right now I'm gonna change this a little bit, but I call it's Monday MFR. And I'm probably gonna make it daily instead of. So what I'm doing is I've got a beginner here, and I just added this actually. So every Monday I have it go, and I've got it collecting my emails, I got it collecting my Teams messages, and I got it collecting my calendar. So I've got my prompt here that's saying, here's today's date, which that could be something I input, and it's going to go and it's going to collect my email, and this is doing it for the last 7 days is what I have it. So it's doing that, and then I have it collecting Teams, all my Teams messages, the different channels that I wanted to actually look for. It's not all of them. I have it priority flag any emails from Adam and Matt. Y'all saw the other day how it kept posting in Teams for some stupid reason, like test. I had to, and that was me working on lower models because so the lower models kept asking it. So I tried to put in don't do it, and it kept doing it. And finally, Hatz was like, "Look, you're going to have to use the more expensive model to make it stop doing that." Then I have it collecting my calendar information, like what's going to be on my calendar. And it's going to take all those outputs and it brings it into something. It's called a synthesized briefing. So it takes all of that, looks at my emails. I've got it calling here because anything that you have up here, you have to actually, most of the time you have to physically click. Hat's workshop, when it's making, will not always do it automatically. So you just click over here and then you collect your output and you click it here. So make sure that if you've got anything here, you got to go to your outputs and make sure that it's down here and actually physically click that. So if you're creating apps and you're running into that problem, this is it. You're not actually called it into your prompt below it. Okay. But anyway, I'm taking that information, and then I'm giving it rules. Obviously, I've already talked about how I like my stuff. Uh, I like my stuff not to sound robotic, so I'm telling it even when it's sent to me, I want it to have it flare. Like Office Space, it needs flare. Um, Again, giving it priority, and I'm telling it what to do. It's going to email. I'm telling it what I want it to do. And then from that, I'm formatting it. And I want two different formats is what I've been playing with. One is Teams, because Teams doesn't do HTML well. I'm still playing with this. It's still not working properly. But I changed it up a little bit. And then I'm doing email formatting, which can do HTML. I'm giving it what I want it to look like, all that good stuff. Then I'm telling it this one, because it's going to be formatted differently, I'm going to tell it to send to Teams. And this may change. This may become a Power Automate thing. And then I have this emailing. Now, here's the thing that I found out, and you guys know, Hatz does not have, it says it can, but it cannot send email. It can't do it. If you actually talk to it enough times, it'll eventually tell you, no, it can't do it. So what I've done is I've got two Power Automate flows. And you can go to makepowerautomate.com or flow.microsoft.com. Let me go to my flows. And I've got two different flows here. I've got one that it's called on Monday, every Monday, it's going to call, what do you say? It's going to call, it gives it the today's date, and it inputs that into my HTTP call to call my Hatz agent. And you can see it goes to my workflow. It does the JSON. I've got my API key. I tell it what my body looks like. You can see it has the date. And so it calls that and it puts the date into my Hatz app. That's the first thing I have it doing. So then my Hatz app runs and it takes it a good little while. So about 30 minutes to an hour later, I forget what I have it at. I have it move that. It, like I said, Hatz won't send an email, but it will put it in your email drafts. So I've got it going. Let's see, edit. I've got it going and looking at. Basically, this makes it look at my drafts folder in Outlook. It filters it by brief, so subject. It parses the JSON on what I want it to do, and finally, maybe it'll do it for each. Yeah, it sends it. It finally sends that message to me. So that's the way I was able to get it to actually send to my email box. So it was kind of this long, convoluted thing, but it is working now. So anyway, so that's one thing that I've done where it automates what my day is going to be like. So just playing with that. It's working. It's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and I want to show y'all that sub agent. I got a little off topic, but that's okay. Is there any questions on kind of what I went through and what my thought process was when I built that app, by the way? All right. Let's see. When we think about it, I'm going to show this sub agent. There was something I was doing earlier I wanted to figure out. I'm trying to think what I want to ask it. Well, maybe we'll just ask it, how does Hatz new subagent work? We'll see if it'll actually, if that's complicated enough to make it do the subagent. So it kind of does. See how it's starting to think. Yep, here it is. Subagent is working. It called Claude Haiku 4.5 instead of 6. It had 2 tool calls, Firecrawlscape, Google Scrape. It shows you which ones are completed. And while it's thinking, it's telling you now what it's thinking, which is so cool. Because there's lots of times I learn how it's doing things and it kind of argues itself. It's like, wait, this will do it. Wait, no, Donald said this. No, wait. And you just see it almost talk, you hear it. I guess it's not really talking to itself, but you see its process, right? So it's still trying to learn about hats here. But the fact that it's starting to show you what it's doing instead of just saying preparing. And then here it's saying, okay, well, look, here's the summary for this, and it lets you look at it, and then it outputs it. So really neat, I think, when I'm building agents that it's giving you all of this. So you can go here. It talks about, oh, now I didn't even know this was here. So I can learn more here. So really kind of cool stuff. If you start building a lot of agents and apps and you start asking it more and more complicated stuff, having this is really, really nice. I know when I was doing some Power Automate stuff yesterday, I noticed this and I was like, oh, this is cool. But I didn't really get it until I started using it some more and more this morning. Any comments or anything on that? Do you kind of get what it's doing?
It is pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. So next thing, is there anything that you guys have questions about or want to talk about before I go into NotebookLM? All right. If you do, it's okay. Just let me know. Um, so one of the things, let me go back to, uh, so this is Notebook LM, and it's part of the Gemini or the Google stuff. And I can put this in the chat as well. And it is free, and you can have free 50 sources. Now, what this is doing is in AI, there's a term called RAG AI define. No, I misspelled that. It's supposed to be RAG. It's basically retrieval augmented generation. And basically, you're making your own, in a lot of ways, you're making your own AI where it pulls just from these specific sources, which is cool. So, what I want to do is I want to show you all what I'm doing to create presentations or learning stuff. So I want to use, maybe I use this one. Yeah, this will work for now. I may remove it later, but let's start here. Actually, yeah, that's fine. Let's do this. Actually, no, I want to go, but I'm sorry. I should have thought. I've got a bigger one that might be cooler. Here we go. Let's do this. So in the free tool, you can have up to 50 sources. After that, you have to make a new notebook or you can pay. I don't want to pay. So you can see I've got a whole bunch of stuff, but I actually saw that PAX 8 this morning. I don't know, I saw it this morning, that they added a new MSP or MIP thing, Managed Intelligent Provider, which is apparently they're saying is the future. So this is basically what they want people to start doing. So I'm just going to go and you saw I just added it and it's going to add this playbook. And what you can do now is everything in here is you're training it what you want to learn. You can ask questions of specific guides, or it will add just that information and be able to help you learn that information as a whole. I want to see if that we'll give that a few minutes. And from that, we'll go over to the side. What I want to show you, it has the studio here. So it allows you to do, if you do an audio overview, this is the thing that can create a podcast for you where it's like two people talking to each other to create a podcast. It's really neat. If you do a slide deck, this is how it does presentations. And we're going to go over that here in just a minute. It has a video overview, but to me, the video overview isn't that great. I don't really see a lot of video in it. It's more of just like one person talking, but it does kind of put together a presentation, but I might not have been playing with this enough to really get it. It does allow you to do a mind map, which is kind of cool, and I might try to do here in a little bit if I haven't already done it. It allows you to do reports, flashcards if you want to learn this information. It allows you to create quizzes. So like I'm using it, like you could use it if you want to study for a certification or you're just trying to get specific knowledge. It allows you to do quizzes. It does infographics and creates data tables as well, all just on information based in here. And your information doesn't just have to be documents. You can add web sources. And when you're adding information, I do this, you can tell it, is it fast research? Is it deep research? All that kind of stuff on how you want it to do. So you can add additional like websites that it will crawl and that kind of thing. It's really neat. That may be bigger than what it needs to be, so it may take a little while. Sometimes you can refresh it. Sometimes it just spins and you refresh it and you'll see it's done. And that's what happened in this case. Looks like, I think. Yeah, here it is right here. So what I wanted to do now is, can you summarize the and Gemini already, as I've talked about before in different LLMs, Gemini is the best LLM for analyzing large PDF documents. So this is what I would use in Hatz, the LLM I would use in Hatz to analyze large PDF documents. Anyway, so this is already here and does let you use it for free. So here you can see the core philosophy, argues that S&Ps are in an era, gives us 6-play framework to sell by. I've not looked at this yet, to be perfectly honest. But I thought this would be a cool place to share this today. So that's that source there. You'll also see I've added some things, or I should have added some things to it. Let me see if I did. Oh, it looks like I didn't add it. Interesting. So one thing that I could do, I need to do, well, I'm not going to do it here. You can add, like I've created like voice guides, right? Y'all seen the voice guides. You add your voice guide to this and it will start, it can use that and talk like you. If you, in this one, I haven't added my branding guide yet, which I probably should do. Let's do that. So, because that's one specific thing. File location. I want to do that real quick because that's kind of an important thing on what I want to show you. The branding guide has all of Real IT's colors in it.